Hello guys, this video is about how I got Challenger by getting 0 kills. Basically, this game was my game to Challenger, and I got 0 kills. But I think I was quite impactful, and I'll go through the whole game and explain my thought process, what I could have done better or worse if I see anything. But basically, I took a pretty big risk this game by picking Galio. Obviously, you can go full AP Galio, but I'm gonna go tank Galio. And what's risky about going tank Galio is if my team is bad, well, I'm on tank Galio. So, I can't really carry. And the reason for that is because Galio can't really build a lead in lane. I kind of have to just chill in lane. You guys will see how it goes. I know since I'm Galio versus Jace, I knew it could have been Jace mid. I figured it was Cassiopeia top. So I just went Aftershock to be safe. If it was Cassiopeia, Galio counters Cassiopeia, there is a world I can go full AP. But first tip of, just Galio, or this isn't even a tip, I just really like to go Nimbus Cloak on Galio. I don't, I don't even think it does anything this game until the very end. But basically with Galio, you can flash W, like flash hold W onto someone, and then if they flash away, you can just chase them. So Galio, because Galio, I always auto at the start to get it low, so then it at least threatens me pushing. I always say if you're a melee mid laner, you don't want to push into a ranged mid laner. But I think that as Jace versus Galio, it's not a normal lane. Like, this guy picking Jace into me being Galio mid is kind of sacrificing his team comp because Galio's like really good at team fighting and stuff like that. He's a tank. Jace is just kind of a damage dealer. That's all he offers. I mean, it's poke too, but like, it's just damage basically, and he's not very tanky either. Since he picked Jace, he's kind of in this situation where he needs to beat me really hard in the 1v1 to like make use of the character he picked. Because otherwise it's like, okay, you could have just not picked Jace. So you'll see I'm just focusing on taking as little damage as possible. I basically just want to be strong enough so that if my jungler gets into a fight, I can go to the fight and be as useful as possible. So like right now, I am as useful as possible in a row. Like if I left mid lane right now to a fight, I'd be fully useful because I'm high enough HP. But if I lost enough HP, then I would need to drink a potion. And if that happens twice, then I'd have no potions left, and eventually I wouldn't be high enough HP. So when I roam, what do you call it? Like I won't be high enough HP, I guess. So the reason I took that bad trade, it was a misplay, but like the reason it happened is because basically what happened is the enemy jungle, my map is covered, but I'm going to pause for this. The enemy jungle cleared their bot side, so the red camps, and then ganked bot lane. And my jungle full cleared from our red side, and he went to our blue side. So now, what I imagine is going to happen is Kindred is Kindred is up camps right now. So Kindred is going to finish her camps, and then, I don't know what it is, but Kindred is going to do something. It could just be fight scuttle. It could just be dive bot lane. It could be a lot of things. So basically, I just wanted to like get push with the intention of like being ready if my team needs help. But ended up nothing happening. I kind of just lost all my HP for no reason. I also underestimated how fast Jace could push, to be honest. Because I guess he's not a mage. He can just auto attack and deal a lot of damage. When I play Galio, I always go Dark Seal for the reason I said earlier. When you're playing Galio, you kind of have to hope your team is good. And if I go Dark Seal, it kind of negates that a little bit. Like, I can carry a little bit if I get Dark Steel stacks, you know? I've won, like, at least half of my Galio wins are literally just because I pick Galio and, like, play Galio normally. Like, Galio, you rarely have to, like, change your play style, I guess. I mean, you change it to your team, but you really want to, you know, pick Galio when it's a really good Galio game, like this game, because I have Kindred. Here, you saw earlier, or a few seconds ago, I queued him instead of the minions. Like, I don't deal that much damage, right? So me queuing him isn't, like, the best use of my mana, I guess. But I do know that, see, I see this in-game while I'm playing. He has 2 biscuits. So see, okay, he takes a lot of damage, but he has a lot of regen, is a better way to do it. I do deal a lot of damage. He just has 2 biscuits and a potion, which he drank earlier. So here it kind of sucks, because I am now in a spot, I mean, we're both in a spot where we can both die. Kindred fights, this is pretty insane that Kindred kills here. And I think I just try to help Kindred live, which she does luckily. Sucks I miss cannon, but yeah, now I want to push before Jace gets back, but then a fight happens, so I just come to the fight. I know that I can come to the fight because I have enough mana for at least W. If I didn't have mana, I would just straight up leave. And then enemy just ints by that. The game isn't one from here though, so don't get too eager. But yeah, this game is mostly going to show how I kind of avoid 1v1ing and avoid like I try to play to Galio's strengths, which is what you should do on every champion, but I don't play these types of champs often anymore because I think they're not as reliable in solo queue. But if anyone wants to know, then I'm making this video because I think it's pretty interesting. I think I do go the magic resist item, even though Jace is AD. I don't remember why. I think I just like figured I didn't need armor or something. I don't know. So this sucks because, you know, that is insane. Jace lives. But he should lose the game off this because he, like, can't 1v1 me anymore. But Sona stays in lane for, like, something crazy. It's, like, at least 3 minutes. Like, at least. Like, she's going top lane right now, and then she comes back mid. Like, she does not leave. And then I push mid fast before I rotate. See, you could see I pushed mid before I even, like, looked at what was happening. Like, I saw what was happening on the map, but, like, you never want to leave. Like, if there's a wave there, especially mid lane, this is most important on mid lane wave. If there's a wave right in front of you, you should always kill the wave, because you saw I just one-shot the wave. Like, if like in terms of gold per second, how much is a minion wave? Like, at least, let's just say it's 100 gold. It's at least 100 gold. It's definitely more. Let's say a minion wave is 100 gold. I just spent like 2 seconds to get 100 gold. Wait, what is that? That's like 50 gold per second or something. Here I messed up. That was my bad. I honestly just like, that's the second time his phase rush just like, uh, I just didn't expect it. I don't know. Like he lived the Kindred gank earlier because of it. And I know Jace is probably going to recall, so I want to kill this wave as fast as possible and then recall. Actually, no, I don't, because see, the next mid wave is already here. So if I can, I want to get the wave. Jace stayed anyway. But see, when the wave is this close, you want to recall, like, see, Jace could, if he wanted to, could recall right now, because he just killed the wave. He can recall and come back before the next wave. Zona is still here, so I can't really do anything, but it's alright. I just killed the wave, and now I'm recalling right after I kill the wave. I'm a bit late, but this is the best I'll get, right? If I wanted better, I'd do it before a cannon wave, but I honestly don't think about that stuff. I think it's pointless to think about in solo queue. In solo queue, like, you're rarely in a situation where your priority is recalling before a cannon wave compared to, like, recalling before dragon or recalling before grubs or recalling before your team is going to do something, right? Like, the most important thing is to just play with your team, in my opinion. It's even more effective because a lot of people don't play with their team. So it's like you get higher value, right? Like your team isn't playing with you. So you're kind of like being the changing factor in a way, I guess. I don't know. And then how mid lane goes a lot is like this Jace can 1v1 me, right? But he's very susceptible to ganks from my team. So he has to play in a way where he's stronger, but he's also easier to gank. That's just how most of mid lane is. So if he is walking up, it's usually because his teammate is nearby. So if my jungler is there, his jungler is there. This is a slow game, obviously. I can probably skip forward a bit to like mid game. Oh, I TB'd bot. This is simple. I just TB'd bot to dive Skarner, but then Jace was there, so I just didn't dive him. I guess I can show it. I TP here as soon as I think he's like all in, and then he flashes, so I'm like, oh, okay. Because TP is a very important spell. This is kind of like a high elo thing, but like TP is like being like your flash and teleport can be as important as your life. It matters more in higher ranks because people like think about it more. But even in a 1v1, like for example in top lane, if the enemy top laner has no flash and you are your team's top laner and you have flash, then the enemy top laner is basically a guaranteed kill if you can like make use of your flash. Like there's a pretty good chance you can just flash on them and kill them because they have no flash. Kindred kind of throws here. Kindred dies a few times this game when she doesn't need to. It definitely makes the game harder. But the Kindred was pretty fed by the end of the game, so it's okay. I always go Demolish. Demolish is a very good rune. On champions that can't go it. I wouldn't go it every game. It's kind of pointless. I would just go Demolish in games. Like, if you go the Resolve tree, you should almost always go Demolish. Font of Life is not that good. What's the other one? It's Shield Bash. Yeah, Shield Bash. I mean, Shield Bash can be good depending on the champ, but Demolish is so good. Then here, I like don't flash away, and I just die. I was gonna flash away last second, but the Jace like knocked me back. I guess that's what happened. I kind of just stopped pressing the button too, though. Like, you know, like I just said like a minute or two ago, flash is as important as your life. Like, it can be more useful than your life. So it's not too bad. Like, instead of dying, I didn't lose my flash. So all I have to do now is make use of my flash, and it will be a good decision to have saved flash. Is how you can think about it. So now I go bot lane. I say this in the game, during the game. I want, like, as Galio, our solo lanes are Galio and Volibear. The enemy's solo lanes are Jason, Cassiopeia. It would be way better if I was versus Cassiopeia, right? Like, just thinking about it. Jace versus Galio sounds hard. Jace versus Cassiopeia sounds easy. And then my top laner is Volibear, and he does fine into both of them. So, like, the enemy team really does not want Cassiopeia against Volibear. And right now, I mean, does not want Cassiopeia against me, because they want Jace against me, because Jace picked Jace to counter me. Like, that's basically the only reason, I'm not gonna lie. And then, but the enemy doesn't do this, so we kind of get like free scaling for who knows how long. See, this Jace is just getting fisted by the Volibear because his champion was picked to beat the Galio, not to like play the game normally. I mean, he can, but like it's harder. He just died to Volibear. Like, I don't know if he needed to die, but like, it is definitely harder. And then before you move, before you roam, you always want to push the wave first. Here I kind of want to save ult. I was gonna flash W over, but they were kind of like outside of range. Then I just save taunt for when the ult ends. This is just mechanical stuff, it doesn't matter. But like I said, you always want to push the wave before you roam. So now I'm gonna kill this wave. If the next wave is close and I can kill it, I'll get it. But the next wave is not easily killable, right? I'd have to walk up like basically under tower. And movement speed, most broken stat in the game, so I go Swifties. And it's not really that good of a Tabize or Mercs game. This is how I choose which boots to buy. I look at this game. Here, I'll pause so you guys can see. I look at their champions. I think, is Mercs really good here or is Tabize really good here? Every game, or plated steel caps. What is Mercury Treads really OP versus them, or is plated steel caps really OP versus them? And when I look at this team, I don't really think that. I kind of think it's like 50-50 because they do have a lot of CC for Merc Treads, but they also deal a lot of physical damage. Skarner, Jace, Corki for plated steel caps. So I'm just like, okay, I don't really care which one I buy. I'm probably just going Swifties. And then for this game specifically, I rushed an MR item, right? So I would want to go plated steel caps, but I'm going an armor item second anyway. So I just figured I can go Swifties, Swiftness boots, and then buy armor right after. But, you know, this is a tank thing. I guess I should say this. Tanks want to, you don't want to over invest in one stat. Like, even if the enemy is full AD, you want armor and health. You don't want just armor. And then obviously versus, in like most situations, you want armor, health, and magic resist. You don't just want armor and health, or you don't just want magic resistant health, or you don't just want magic resistant armor. Gotta have a good balance according to what the enemy team deals, which is kind of hard to know. You kind of just have to play League for that, right? Then see, I kind of walk here like up. You could see I was like kind of like positioning into the corner and he saw me. That's because he doesn't know where my team is. He knows where my team is now, but I kind of wanted to like uh fake that they're there. And then here you saw I got the wave there and the demolish proc. I think me being here like a second or two earlier would not make that much of a difference. But it's the same thing I said earlier. If there's a wave in front of you, you might as well just get the wave. Here I try to help him. I honestly, what even happened? How did Kindred die there? But yeah, I go in to try to help, but he's doomed. That guy's a bit doomed. Oh no, Volibear died. Okay. Well, bad fight. It's bad because Varus died at the start, but it's not over, right? We're winning. And like the Varus said, we didn't have Galio Kindred ult, but that's not really what I'm focusing on this video. But yeah, obviously, well not obviously, but you should of course try to fight less when your abilities are on cooldown. An interesting fact. Very interesting. And then I TP here because Senna is still behind them. You can't see on the map, but Senna cancels recall. So we're just collapsing. I think we only get Sona, which isn't too bad. Cassiopeia actually TP'd as well. We might kill her. I don't know if we do. We definitely chase though. I think we do win this. He got into W range to taunt that Cassiopeia because I have so much move speed. This build's OP. Our Kindred is like limit testing this whole game. Here I go in. Our Volibear was behind, but I guess he walked away for a second. I mean, either way, we got Jace Flash there. Like I said, I think in higher ranks, Flash can be as good, if not more useful than your life. So me dying there, like I'm gonna respawn before anything interesting happens again, right? I'm perfectly happy with that. I think this game, like just from the champions as well, is really like kill centric. I don't like using that word because like what does that even mean? But like there's a lot of fighting happening. And okay, this is a better way to put it. Like kills matter more this game. Kindred greets for the smart because this guy's a bit of an inter this game. It's okay. I don't blame him for this one because like from our POV, our team's POV, like they like very obviously saw Kindred. Like we knew they saw Kindred going there. It was like very obvious that for them to kill Kindred there. But like it was so obvious that like you low key like don't like low key it's so obvious like maybe they won't do it, you know? Here I get spotted by Sona's sweepers, so in hindsight I could have just stood in this side of the bush and it would have like then if Skarner or Sona sweep they wouldn't have saw me. But they saw me, unlucky. And then I don't E away because my team is nearby. I kind of want to like bait them to fight. I don't think we do fight though, because both teams are kind of uncertain whether they win. I don't want to just combo Skarner, right? Because there's a good chance he just kills me afterwards. So now, for next fight, obviously what I'm thinking, well not obviously, but what I'm thinking is Jace has no flash. So, since he has no flash, I want to look more on Jace than I would normally. Here I'm just a meat shield for my team. Which is why I picked the Galio, right? We have 3 ADCs. We have Kindred, Senna, and Varus. So as long as I'm separating the enemy from my backline, I'm doing my job. Yeah, I'm doing more on like, I'm not really going for anyone. I'm just kind of trying to split them up, which I'll do every fight. Like, unless there's a really obvious target, I'm not gonna run at them. I'm just gonna like hold W and try to make the enemy get disrupted. Kindred, ints again, whatever. I'm recalling to get top wave versus farming bot still because of the waves were calling us. We just need this gold. And then see, next wave is soon, so I'm going to stay top to get the next wave before I leave top. But after I get this wave, I'll leave because I just got the wave. The next wave is coming soon. So I can recall, or I can do whatever I want now. Jace once again lives with his 2 billion movement speed per second. And then what I'm thinking about right now is I flash in 40 seconds. That's pretty useful. Maybe I can make use of that. I try to like stay in the Senna's like camouflage thing a lot this game. If you are in Senna's E, so Senna's E is her like camouflage thing. If you are in the circle, you're literally invisible. Also, I knew Cassiopeia was here because my team was pinging it. I was just like, okay, I guess there's someone here. I didn't actually see her. I just saw everyone pinging it. But see, if you're in Senna's E, you are completely invisible. Like they have no idea you're there. The only thing they can see is that Senna's E is there. Now, if you leave the E, you're like a ghoul on their screen, which is kind of weird to describe. That's just how it is, though. And then here I know I'll catch Sona because I have movement speed items. If I didn't have movement speed items, I'd probably just leave and let my team catch Sona because I wouldn't be able to like do anything versus them. And then here my team wants to Baron, which, you know, I'm Galio with 50 mana. I'm probably not going to deal much damage to Baron. But on the way there, so I want to like push mid or something, like what I'm doing right now. But then I like think about it for a second, and I'm like, I should just go to Baron because the person that Baron is hitting deals 50% less damage. So I should just be a Baron so I can be the one tanking. Kindred is like completely trolling. She should have just sprinted to Baron. I don't know why she cleared mid-wave with me. Well, that part was like okay, but then she also did blue buff. It's like okay, buddy. Okay, pal. And I'm just trying to zone, but because maybe they could flash over or something, but it's pretty safe. Nothing happening. And then I knew from like a minute ago, if we did get Baron, I'd get enough gold for Deadman's, which is pretty good. Also, I didn't know this. Fun fact. This is probably common knowledge, or like more common than I think, but when you have Deadman's, it gives slow resist. I'm like pretty sure. Like while Deadman's is active, you have slow resist. And then we're really strong right now, so I'm just trying to like walk into them. We see Jace there. I'm walking, and then this is a great concept that I haven't really said in a video before. If they have flash, or in this situation, you want to play it as if. So you want to think like, what's the only way Jace can live in this situation? And the only way Jace can live, unless a Kindred cues in flash ults, is that Jace flashes my W. So I'm just going to position to where he just can't flash my W. And then he flashes anyway because he's like, you can see he's tilted in his chat. But part of that is also like if he dies, the game is over. So, he's just like okay, whatever. And it's very useful to ult on Galio for the magic shield. It gives a magic shield to everyone. And then the game's over now. And I still have 0 kills. Respect. But yeah, this game I was unable to 1v1 anyone on their team. Now, obviously my team won, and I got carried, but I think that if I was on the enemy team, we could also have a chance of winning. It was just winner's queue, I agree. But even if we weren't winning as hard, like, here, let's go back a bit. How far back can we go? Where does the game, like right here, for example, this is right after we throw. Like, I honestly think the game is winnable for the enemy. It's just a matter of, like, if our team plays correctly and their team plays incorrectly, our team will win, and that's what happened. If I was on the enemy team, they'd have Galio, Sona, whatever. I'm not saying I played this game particularly well, or I mean, I think I did play this game particularly well. I'm not saying I did anything this game, which is the risk you take by picking Galio. Is if you pick Galio, you're not going to do anything besides be Galio. You can be good at Galio though, no shade to any Galio players. But yeah, it's basically just playing around the fact that I picked Galio and they picked Jace, and Jace's like I'm never gonna beat Jace in a 1v1. And most of the time when you pick Galio, it's gonna be like that. You're not gonna be able to 1v1 mini champions, especially if you're counterpicked. But yeah, I hope that helped anyone understand how to play, for example, a tank in top lane versus a bruiser or something like that. Basically, this is more of a mid lane thing, but you always want to be ready to move if you need to. But this goes for any role. You always want to be ready for the next big fight, which could be dragon, it could be grubs. It could just be like maybe someone's getting dove soon and you can teleport to the tower and save them. It could be anything. But it's very useful to have the foresight and awareness, see that that's going to happen, and then prepare for that. For example, kill the wave in front of you now, so you don't have to later. And now that you've pushed the wave, you can leave, and you're on the same like time, like the time you have to leave. You push the wave, so now you have free time, and your free time is when the enemy is trying to dive or fight grubs. So your free time is aligning with something else happening, if that makes sense. And most people don't think about that, so it's a pretty big advantage for, you know, basically every rank until you get really, really high rank. And at that point, it's like, well, even if you do that at a really, really high rank, even if the enemy might know you're doing it, you know, you're doing well by doing it. Like, that's what you ought to do. So I hope this helped, and this was my game to Challenger. I guess I'll show my LP gain. I don't clickbait epically. I went back too far. 671 LP is Challenger currently as of this date. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys learned something. Goodbye.